Watching the market tick up on this, do you think it's because of what Steve is saying, that the market doesn't believe this weak number, or because the market's looking at the great unemployment number, looking at the weak headline number and saying, OK, maybe the Fed wouldn't move quite as aggressively?
I think it's the latter, Becky. I think there was a little bit of a mixed message here, and it gives the Fed a little bit more to think about, and we're not necessarily positive that they're going to hike rates so quickly. So I think the market is trying to work through those numbers, but the Fed is looking at the labor force participation rate and the unemployment rate, and both of those came in positively. So I actually think that this gives the Fed room to say we're still going to taper faster, and rate hikes are certainly not out of the question summer and fall of next year.
Javier, let's talk to you as our kind of expert and the person in the real world here who is seeing what's happening on the business level with these things, too. What do you hear from the companies that you represent? What's the biggest issues they're facing right now? Does it have to do with finding people to do these jobs? Is it supply chain?
Well, it's both, actually. But thank you, Becky, first of all, for having me here. I think these numbers, and everybody's positive about what's about to happen and what's going to be announced. I think that these job numbers indicate that despite everything, global pandemic, inflation, everything that we're hearing about, America's small business community is staying the course. We are the ones driving these numbers. At the end of the day, 2/3 of all new jobs in this country are created by the small and medium-sized companies, not the conglomerates. It's our constituency that are creating these new jobs. And we're going to stick it through. It is great to have this at the end of the year. I think it gives us a boost for a strong 2022. And we're looking forward, and we're going to just keep pushing and doing what we've always done, staying the course, creating the jobs, paying the taxes, and driving the American economy.
Karen, as LinkedIn's chief economist, you look pretty closely at the workers' perspective on all of these things. Do these numbers make sense with what you're hearing from your constituents, too?
Not at all. Not at all. This is the strongest single month we've had in the recovery to date, literally. And we're seeing hiring on our platform almost 6% above where it was pre-COVID. So I'm in the camp of I think these are going to get revised. I also don't think that the Fed knew what the number was, but I think they were very much hoping it was strong. And this is going to be a little bit more of a headwind for them to try to figure out how to navigate forward. Because I think they do want to be responsive to inflation, but the jobs number is not helping.
Austin, should I put you in that camp with Steve and Karen as well? Just the ones who don't necessarily believe the headline number? Or what do you think?
Well, I would say I have a theory, which is if you start your own company, you show up in the household survey as employed, but you do not show up in the establishment survey because you don't have any track record. You're not in the tax records. So as you come out of recessions, a lot of times, if you got a lot of new business formation, you'll see big revisions and you'll see a divergence in the jobs being created, they say in the household survey, above what's in establishment. This great resignation, I think, is in large measure the great, I'm not working for somebody else anymore, I'm starting my own thing. You've seen record levels of business formation, and I think that's why these two surveys are splitting.
So what is the Fed going to do with this mixed set of data?
I think the Fed should be paying attention to what's real. And so if in the household survey that's what's real, that's what they should be paying attention to, the unemployment rate and the jobs there. But it just raises the degree of difficulty for the Fed to explain what it's doing. If people say, wait a minute, we're getting misses on the jobs numbers, why are you acting the way you are?
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.